Hey guys, Fat Preacher Man here, and we are about to do a backup and restore of your PS3 information to another PS3 hard drive. Before we do that, a couple things I wanted to show you real quick to help that process. If you don't already have a big enough hard drive formatted to FAT32, you're going to need to do that. And then we're also going to need to make sure we have a memory stick, a USB with the most current update on it. Have both of those ready. So this first thing that we're going to do is about formatting a USB external drive device to FAT32 so it can handle all the backup memory from your PS3. So first you want to come on this screen and go down to the start menu icon, and it's going to bring up another little menu for you. And from that menu you want to click on computer. Once you click on computer, you're going to want to click on manage. And then once you click on manage, you're going to want to click on disk management. And then from disk management, you'll see this. Mine says disk 1. Yours may be A, B, or another number. Then you want to start deleting all those little individual volumes that are on your disk. You just want one big volume. So we're going to delete all these and see how it's all combining now. Once we get all those deleted, we're going to come out, and like I said, I use Acronis to do the format. So I'll put a link up in the description below for you. It's about $50, but it's really good to use and good to have around. Once you put it in, you see it reads it differently. Now it says disk 2, but it has the same number of gigabytes, and you're going to click on a create volume. Once that comes up, you're going to tell you want it basic. And after you've clicked on basic, then it's going to change the screen. It's going to tell you how much gigabytes you can have on there. And it's going to start out as NTFS. We're going to change that. Click on the file system, and we're going to change that to FAT32. And once you click on that, you're going to click on finish. It's going to come up at the top. It's going to say commit pending operation. You click on that. It progresses through it. This goes actually really quickly. It's less than 5 minutes. I tried to do it with the DOS with the command prompt, and it took hours, and it still failed because I wanted to do a 500 gigabyte. So that's that. Now we also need to do the update, which you can get on a thumb drive from the PS3 website. So you want to put in your USB thumb device or external memory device that you're going to use for the update. Go to their main web page, and on the bottom on the right hand side you'll see the PS3 system update, and we're going to go through the process of getting that onto the USB device. After you click on it, it's going to come up like this, and then you're going to click on download now, and you're going to have to set up a thing on the device itself, which is pretty simple. You go in there, you click create a new file, new folder, PS3, go into the PS3 folder and make one that's called update. Now I did all of these in caps because that's the way they said to do it on there. Don't know that really matters though. After you get that ready, then you're going to go, do you want to download? You're going to download it directly. I hit save as into the PS3 folder. Click on the PS3 folder, go into that, go into the update folder, and save it there. And once you start that save, it doesn't take long, and then you're good to go. You just take that and set it aside. We're going to need that later on. Right now, let's get ready to look at how we set up the PS3s. Okay, so we're going to go in and we're going to start the backup. I'm going to show you how it looks from both the outside and the inside, and try to give you some videos of both. Here we see it going into, that's the USB device. Got plenty of space on there. So I'm going to go down to the system menu. System settings, click on that. And that'll bring up a whole bunch of different things. But we want today the backup utility. You click on the backup utility. It's going to give you different choices. And we want the backup. Once it does that, it's going to tell us some warnings. It's going to give you some warnings, some options, let you know what's going on. And you want to do it. So you're going to click on yes. Then it's going to say where do you want to save it to. And there's our FAT32 drive. And it begins the process, preparing. And now instead of just showing you all this, I'm going to show you some of the external pictures too while it's doing this. Some of the other things that were going on, what it looks like set up on the outside, and things of that nature. Because this is going to take a while. Even when I play it back at super fast speed and cut some out, it's still a lot to just sit here and watch this. So hold on a sec. So here we see we have the PS3 hooked up to the external HD device, which I have already formatted into FAT32. And so again, this is a quick view from the outside with my other camera, and we see that it's taking a while. It's trying to figure out how long it's going to take. And that's the HD, the external HD that I'm using to back it up on. It's a 1 terabyte, formatted to FAT32, plugged in through the USB to the external USB slots. And here we see it's calculated after doing 4%. I still got 1 hour and 52 minutes. So it's about 2 hours to back up, and it's also going to be about 2 hours for the restore. This is, again, a lengthy process. But again, if you want to get your information, if you want to save it and save it to the same system, just with a different hard drive, then this is the best way to go. If you have a new system that you want to just transfer everything over to, then you might want to do a system transfer, which will end up taking about the same amount of time. It'll just be one process instead of two. So now that we're done, we're going to shut this down, and we're going to get the hard drive out. Hold on one sec. Okay, so if you've never removed the hard drive before, don't let that intimidate you. It's pretty simple. On this slim right here, there's this little flap that you open up, and you'll see the blue screw. It's almost always a blue screw on the PS3. I don't think I've ever removed a hard drive and it wasn't a blue screw. You take that out, and then after you take that out, you'll notice there's this little teeny slot or flap or whatever you want to call it on the front. And once you get that off, you'll see where the actual hard drive itself is. So now we're just going to pop this off. Yep, just pop it off. Pop, pop, pop. There we go. And there's the HD itself. Just slide that out. Mine's a little dusty, unfortunately. And clean that off real quick. And see that this is an original drive. This is a 120 gigabyte. And it's just got these 4 little screws on the bottom that hold it in place. So we're going to take those off and then slap the new hard drive in. And again, you want to make sure that your hard drive is ready to go. I cleared off and formatted mine to FAT32 using an enclosure. And I also formatted to FAT32 the HD device. I don't know if I had to format the hard drive that goes in, but I did it just in case. I didn't want any issues. And the way the slim one comes out, it kind of slides in there like this. See how it just slides into the side? So we just slip it up, slip it out. Goes right back in the same way. Slides in and clamps down, and the screws go in. So we're going to take this one out. That's the 120. And instead we're going to make this into a 500. It's the 500 gigabyte Toshiba. Got this online for about 50 bucks, 57 bucks. Not bad. Again, put this in, slide that under the lip, and then we're going to screw it back in. Once we get it screwed in, just a matter of slipping it back inside and putting the blue screw back in place so it doesn't remove. Then we take the system back over, hook it back up to the TV, hook up the HD. We're also going to want to put in that USB device that has the, or whichever device has the, for you, has the update on it. Because I found, don't know if it's just because the way I did this, but didn't have to do it the first time, but because the way I did it this time maybe, I had to do the update. So it kind of interrupts the process, but I'm going to show you just the way it happened to me. Not going to cut and paste and make it look like I knew what I was doing. Again, so that slides over. That goes back in place. You really can't mess this up. Slide it in. Locks in. Put the screw back. Actually, before we put the screw back, put this back in place, because the screw goes through that to hold it in place. And this is the normal slim, not the super slim or the slim light, but this is the normal slim. Okay, see you guys back here in a few minutes. Okay, so now that we have it in place, notice it says cannot be restarted. The partition must be reformatted. Connect storage media that contains updated data version, and that's why we want the USB stick in there that has plugged in, that has the PS3 update on it. And so once it detects that, it'll go through the motions, it'll do the update, and that'll take a minute. I'm not going to bore you with that. It's going to take you through all the steps and processes of updating the system. You know, it has to read it from the media, it has to download it to the hard drive, and then it has to do the install. So once that all is done, and then we're actually going to move on. And then once you restart it, it's going to be like it's a brand new system. You click on English. I have mine hooked up through HDMI. Am I sure I want to use it? No, I don't. Then we're going to Canada. Don't worry about setting the time. It'll fix itself later. So just push through it. And now we're going to go into the menus. Go down. Just have user 1. Doesn't even matter. Get rid of that later. Go back to system settings again. Go to backup utility again. This time we're going to do restore. Having your hard drive plugged into the USB, click on restore. It'll read the, you see the little symbol up in the corner, little flashing circular clock. It's reading any connected devices, and it says, do you want to restore the backup data? Before restoring, all data on the system will be wiped. So you click on it, you say yes, and it reads the information, and then it gets started. If you have multiple backups, I suppose it will ask you. I just have the one. So then first it's going to format the hard drive that we have in there, which is pretty interesting. But what it's really doing is it's syncing it to the PS3 so that it can only be used with that PS3. If we try to move it from here to another PS3, it will not work. So once that's done, then it'll again confirm the information. System will come back up. Sparkles, yay, sparkles. Press the PS button. And now again it's going to do the restore. See right there it says restore instead of backup. Again, make sure you have time. Don't do this when you, I skipped all of it so you wouldn't have to sit here. But don't do this when you think the power might go out. If you haven't paid your electric bill, if you have kids or anyone that might try to bump or jostle the PS3, causing a connection to come loose. If you have people who walk in and like to turn things off, set this up for a time when you can have the PS3 to yourself, not worried about it, get through this. Here we are at 100%. Restore is complete. We're going to push the X button to restart. Now once it restarts, it should have all the information plus that little user one we had. So here we go. It's restarting. And like I said, it added user 1. I didn't have user 1, so it now added it. Press the PS button to use the controller. Then we're going to back out of this. Go to the main screen. And here we are. It fixed the time for me, fixed the date for me, has all my users on there. There's that lovely user 1. Going to log in. Should sign in for me. There we go. And that's basically it. Stay tuned after this. I'm going to do a brief tutorial that went kind of hand in hand with this. I didn't want to show it earlier, but in case you need it or you're interested, how you can take a hard drive and turn it into an external hard drive. One of the, like say you had a 250 gig or 320 gig and you replace it with a terabyte, and what do I do with the extra hard drive? You can buy yourself an enclosure and turn it into an external hard drive. Or you can just buy the enclosure and use it so you can format and use it with your PC. You can use it for PS3 backup, whatever. But that's coming up right after this. Again, I'm just scrolling through all the menus so you can see that everything that I transferred is here. It's my game data, my save data, my games, my DLC. Everything came through just nice and clean. Again, so this is the best option if you want to keep the same PS3 but have a new hard drive. If you have a new PS3 and an old PS3 and you just want to switch over to the new one, then you want to do the system transfer. And again, we have both of those videos. Be sure to check them out, see what your options are. And I even have one video that just discusses the different options, which one works best for you and why to choose which one. Again, just want to thank you so much for stopping by, for watching our video, and subscribing, of course. You're going to subscribe, right? You got to subscribe. I'm going to put see the subscribe button there, up there in the corner, up in the right. You go ahead and click it now. It won't, you can keep watching the video. Just go ahead and subscribe. But like I said, seriously, if you want to know how to set up your enclosure, just stay tuned after this, and I'll walk you through it. You can buy them like on Tiger Direct or Amazon. All it is just an enclosure. Again, the hard drive type you need is a SATA, S-A-T-A, and 2.5 is what the PS3 uses. And otherwise than that, you pick what you want. All right, have a great day. Thanks a lot. Jesus bless you, and good gaming. Hey guys, as promised, here I'm going to show you how I made an enclosure with this hard drive. This is my 500 gig hard drive. See right there, 500 Toshiba. We're going to take this and put it in an enclosure. And an enclosure, again, is used so that you can use it as an external hard drive where it would normally be only considered an internal drive. So it has this little piece that comes with it, and it just snaps onto the top. And that's really the connector. It has a little light up there, and it has a USB connector and a power connector. So you have to put these in the right way. You really can't mess it up. They make it pretty simple. And like I said, I got this one from Tiger Direct. So you put it on there, snaps in place. There we go. The two are now connected. Now technically I could just hook it up like this, but they have the nice little enclosure to provide protection. And what it does is it just slides right inside of there. And don't worry, I'm going to show you that in a second. See, here it is. It just slides inside. Boop. Nice and easy, and the little things hold on to the top for you. And the sides line up so you can screw it in place. So we're going to take the screws, drop them in, screw them in place. Keep the hard drive secure. again. Now, I did this with this hard drive in particular so that I could format it. I wanted to make sure, I bought it online, so I wanted to make sure that it was good before I slapped it in my PS3. And I think I mentioned before I got this one for about $50 on eBay. And this is actually the one that we used in the video earlier. So this is kind of out of order, but when you saw me doing the format on the hard drive earlier, this is the hard drive after I get it all hooked up in the enclosure. So after we get these sides in, there's a little piece that slides on the sides that covers the sides. It'll cover the screw holes, and it'll also have a bottom and it'll have a top. And once we get that, you'll be able to see that there's a power USB plug and a regular USB plug. Now on the regular USB plug, it has the mini and the USB plug on both, one on one side, one on the other. The power, on one end it has the USB plug, but on the other side it has what looks like a regular AC adapter jack. So these just slide in here, and I say just because like an idiot I sit here and struggle and struggle and struggle, embarrassing myself. I feel like a child trying to do a puzzle for the first time. Oh, simple, simple Ben. There we go. Slide it right in. Okay, so that's the bottom now, and that's already screwed together. The top piece, you just lay on there. And it has two little black screws that we'll be putting in. And you see it has the USB and the power, and it has a little light, so when it's plugged in and powered up, you'll be able to tell. So we pop those two screws in. It's pretty simple. This one out the way. And again, this is great to make use of HDs that you've disconnected. I think this was $19. So for $19, I can convert a hard drive I already have into an external hard drive. And there we go. And like I said, it takes two cables. One cable comes with it. The other one you can just use you can use your PS3 controller charging cable if you want, and plug it right in that mini USB port. And that's the power source. Plug that in the computer and one of the USB ports, and it'll power it up. Bright lights. Bright lights. Gizmos caca. Okay, and then the other one, we just plug in the USB port and plug it in the computer, and we're good to go. We can format it, we can use it for backups, whatever we want to do. Thanks a lot for watching. Jesus bless you, and good gaming. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to subscribe.